Hello and welcome along to Goal Line Gossip. This is the Jishmeister here, joining you guys along with Saul for representing Manchester United, the Kloppite and the Bong Scouser representing Liverpool, and Pravasi representing the newly crowned champions of 22-23 season, Manchester City. Um, Me as an Arsenal fan, we were hopeful even till a couple of weeks back that things might turn around, but it was not to be. We have a cracking show lined up here for you guys. We're going to get going. We're going to be first talking about Manchester City. Where else to start? They became the sixth team to ever do the three-peat and the second team to ever do it in the Premier League era. Uh, it was first Huddersfield Town that did it in the 1920s, and then the 1930s Arsenal did it, and 1980s Bob Paisley's Liverpool did it, and then in the 90s Manchester United did it. I think Alex Ferguson did it twice, once in the early 90s and in the late 90s. Well, and then in 2000s as well. And then now, eventually, the great Manchester City under Pep Guardiola has done it. I want to take this question first before I take it to Pravasi. Obviously, he's going to be ecstatic about it. But I want to ask Saul, how does he feel about it? Is he feeling bitter after the three-peat has been matched by their bitter rivals from blue side of Manchester?
Yeah, first of all, congratulations to Manchester City for winning their fifth title in 6 seasons, which
Thank you,
is
thank you, thank you. City. Yeah, carry on.
right. So yeah, glad that you guys won for you. Uh, from a Manchester United perspective, yeah, well, going into the season, never had any expectations to challenge for the title, anyways. But yeah, I think that throughout this season, at least, I've always wanted Arsenal to win for obvious reasons, but doesn't seem like it's going to happen. And
It hasn't
City
happened.
has,
It hasn't happened, period. Now it's done
yeah,
and dusted.
exactly,
Over.
and
It's over.
it's over. And City, they deserve it, right? I mean, they've been the kryptonite for Arsenal. I mean, they've lost 3 games against Arsenal. I mean, they've won 3 games against Arsenal. Uh, Arsenal also managed to lose against Nottingham Forest. Apparently, their stadium is called City Ground. So the word city is definitely killing them in every possible way. But anyways, all banter aside, I think it's a massive achievement. I'm surprised that they're the sixth team. I mean, I didn't know there were so many teams like
Well,
that in
we're
the
talking about from the inception of the first
1920s.
division, since the
Yeah,
inception of the first division. But in the
no, I
Premier
get
League
that.
era, I believe this is
It's
the
probably the
third.
second time,
No, it's the
second
third.
or third time.
It's
Okay,
the third.
third time.
United did it twice. Yeah.
Right. So, and yeah, I mean, this might be the first of many trophies for this season for City as well. They're facing Inter in the Champions League, and of course the Manchester Derby at Wembley for the FA Cup. So there is a possibility that they can top their achievement from what they did today by lifting the Premier League title as well. So I would say like a 10 out of 10 season for Pep Guardiola. They didn't start well. Start was a bit shaky. Couple of injuries, plus having out and out number 9 in Haaland. They had to reconfigure how they would play, but they managed all of it, didn't they? And yeah, they managed to win the league in the month of May. Who would have thought that like 3 weeks ago, right? So yeah, massive congratulations to Manchester City. As being a fan of the other part of Manchester, I definitely don't like it. But at the same time, as a football fan, I think it's well deserved. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens to this team. Will it get rolled over to the next one, or are there going to be new people coming in, and some of the old guards will be, getting scattered in other teams, or some of them might be even leaving the Premier League altogether. So yeah, I couldn't care less. But well done.
Yeah. Listen, as an Arsenal fan, I mean, I had a lot of expectation early in the season. When I saw first of all, commiserations to on above Pravasi being a Manchester City fan. Uh, However, when I saw the team, the way the presentation happened and the entire, it's just not the 11 players, right? There's this medical staff, there's the nutrition staff, there's the the entire club staff. It just felt like they've done a fantastic project management job there. Their project looks nothing like anybody else in the sense that I don't think spent, at least in the Pep era, they've spent nonsensical money. Any and every player that they've bought, either they've Grealish, Mahrez, who else? The first season didn't look that good, but the second season, well, these are the two prime names that come to my mind who did not have the best of their first.
Rodri, Rodri.
Rodri, well, Rodri was decent in
Nathan
the
No,
Ake,
Nathan Ake.
You take
Nathan
Calvin
each and
Ake.
Phillips.
every player. No, no, you
Should
take
I
each
just
and
go
every
on?
player that we have signed in our Manchester City, and you will find that in Pep era, and you will find that every player has had a rough season in his first. Means the first season has
First
Yeah,
always
season,
been rough
yes,
for every
Fernan-
player that we have signed in the Pep era.
exactly, exactly. So
Fernandinho used to play. Fernandinho used to play. Rodri was
Yeah,
benched.
yeah.
right,
In
right,
the
right,
first
Uh,
season, of Rodri,
right,
Fernandinho has to shift in there.
exactly.
Even
I
Gundogan
mean,
has to shift in the number 8, number 6 role.
hmm.
right, right. I mean, shaping that point specifically to what I was trying to say. That seems like the project is immaculate. It's such a good project. They've bought a player like Erling Haaland for 50 million. The triggering, and they had to convince the player to join them, right? So it's not like other clubs could do anything about it. It's not like they just triggered the buyout clause first and they just got it. No, it was a project in
Mhm.
mind. And then so many other players, all the players, and I see youth in there as well, and I'm sure that one of those, Rico Lewis or Cole Palmer, along with Phil Foden, will have a future at this club for sure. And it was beautiful to see, and I just hope that Arsenal can do something similar. um, and as a manager, as a man manager, as a footballing coach, as a footballing mind, I think Pep Guardiola is second to none. And there's a huge difference between anybody else and him. The way he breeds, success into these players, and then does not settle for, failure, even at any point of the season. Even at the down period, they're probably dropping not more than 3 to 5 points, maybe 4 or 5 points in a 9 game stretch. Pravasi, do you want to mute yourself?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, it's not you. Okay, it's probably the Bong Scouser then. Yeah, it was the Bong Scouser. So yeah, I mean, again, commiserations, amazing season. Even though it hurt me a lot, we'll talk about Arsenal and how we capitulated in a bit. But yeah, I think you guys have done phenomenally, and I think
Are
it's
you
not.
going to lose your shit again, or
No, no,
just
no.
join?
Listen,
Okay.
right now I'm mellow. I'm mellow, and I've accepted. Listen, we've lost to a better team, but I think a four-peat is coming. I have a strong feeling that a four-peat is coming for the first time ever. No team has done this ever, and I think a four-peat is incoming next season. But we'll see. I'll let the Kloppite give his take on this Manchester City team and what he feels about the upcoming seasons and Pep Guardiola.
First of all, congratulations to Pravasi. Like seeing this
Thank you.
brilliant team in action, like day in day out, like really makes me jealous. Like I don't know, like I miss Liverpool playing like that. Like even not, it's not even close to this how Liverpool were playing back then, but it was somewhat close, but not as good. And I miss those. I'm very jealous. And I also like to thank Nathan Jones, the Southampton manager, caretaker manager, who stopped their quadruple. Otherwise, they would have won the quadruple. So,
Yeah, correct.
so that is one more thing. Yeah, like I was watching the City and Chelsea game outside, and like their reserve team just like blew away Chelsea. This is their bench team, and seeing that
Yeah.
finish from Alvarez, so confident, like a one small touch and scoring. Such a good player you guys have.
He's
Yeah,
Argentina's number one, so yeah, okay.
yeah. And soon, very soon, Argentina's number one, or maybe he is already. I don't know.
He is already
The World Cup.
Yeah,
by
he
the
is
time the
already.
world
He is already.
by the time the World Cup ended, he was
Hmm.
already Argentina's first choice number 9.
So yeah. Coming back to Pep Guardiola, like what a genius. I hope he should win the Champions League. He should like no, not taking the mick out of it anymore. Like he should win it. He deserves it, and he should win the treble. Everything that he should get it this season. Yeah, makes me very jealous, but yeah. Also, I admire the beautiful game, so you got to praise them. when they do good shit out there.
Hmm. Hmm. Now, the Bong Scouser, what is your take on the three-peat being done, and how do you potentially see yourselves? You guys went toe to toe for a considerable amount of 4 years, 5 years period, and you came out on top one time, but you got
during
to.
the COVID season. Just want to say that.
Doesn't matter. We won 32 games there. 32 games in a row. In a
No,
row.
if you
One
if
game.
you go to
We
Wikipedia and check out that page, there's an asterisk over there. It just says COVID
nah,
season.
nah, nah,
It's the
nah, nah, nah.
only
We had
page on
won.
Wikipedia
So,
where
We had
it
so
won
if
the
says
you're
that.
league.
making that point, so we might
We
have to
were
say
like,
that this year was the year where World Cup was in between, so it probably
yeah,
had similar impact as well. So
Dude,
that doesn't take
we
away
COVID
anything.
is
I
were
think.
sad. World Cup isn't. Come on.
we
Anyway,
were
so let
15. We were
I
15
think let's
points
not take
clear
away
when COVID
anything
happened.
from Manchester City. I think they unreal domination. What more can we say? Five five victories in the last 6 years. It's just unparalleled. I don't think there's any other team with that kind of a record across all the leagues. Probably in the Bundesliga, Bayern might have one, might have that kind of a record, but in the Premier League, I don't think any other team has this kind of a record. And I mean, I've been watching Premier League for the past maybe 10 years now, or more than that. Okay, this is 2023. So, okay, it's been almost 2 decades that I've been watching the Premier League. And I think by far this Manchester City team is the best team that I've watched, without a shade of doubt. And
Really? Don't you think there's a little bit of recency bias here? You do
no,
remember
no, no,
seeing
absolutely not. If you
Ronaldo,
are telling me,
Rooney, and
if you're
Berbatov.
telling me as an Arsenal fan that that Invincibles team
No, 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 no,
was
no,
better than this
no,
Manchester
no,
City
no,
team,
no, no, no.
I
Listen,
think you're deluded.
maybe as an individual season, that season was probably better than this for sure. I would definitely say
I would
so.
disagree. I would disagree. See the number of competitions this City team. If this City team wins the treble, without doubt, it is better than the
We
Invincibles team.
we are speaking
See the
about
number of games you have drawn. See the number of games you have
12
drawn.
games. I know,
No one talks about that.
but we
I
still
do agree.
but we didn't
I
lose
do
a game.
agree.
If it
That's
was so
sorry.
easy, if listen, a three-peat has been copied, right? Manchester City has done a three-peat. Manchester City may just do a treble as well. Let's talk when another team does the invincible. You cannot speak to me right now when
Why
another
are we
team
talking
does.
about Arsenal?
No,
I thought
because
we were
Why?
talking about
Why?
that's
City.
because we are not talking about Arsenal. I was comparing this team. He said this is the best team ever. And
At
I
the
was
end of the day, no one wins a trophy if you don't win
but
even if you don't lose a game, you don't win a trophy. There's
Boxers,
nothing there.
I'm not speaking about the Invincibles anyway. My point of reference was the United team that had Rooney, Ronaldo, Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs,
No, no.
Ferdinand, Vidic, Evra.
Yeah, he probably doesn't remember that team because Liverpool was
Okay,
shit
if
back
you're
then.
talking about individual seasons, if you're there are some teams that might get close, okay, and even the Liverpool
No, I'm
team
not.
that got
I'm speaking about the entire 3 year period. This three-peat compared to the three-peat of the Manchester United team. At that time, Manchester City was competing against 3 or 4 good teams. Going for the title. You didn't know
but
which team
that
was.
team didn't win the treble, right? That team
It did.
did
It
not win
did.
the treble.
We
It
did.
No,
did.
no,
Didn't
the
win.
1999 team
No, no,
won
no.
the treble.
They won the
It
double.
didn't win the treble.
1999 team
They
won
won
the
the double.
treble.
I know.
Yeah,
They
we
No,
won the
no,
double.
didn't
no.
win the FA Cup. We won the Carabao.
But
And that
Man
team
City hasn't won the treble
team
either. Manchester City haven't won the
No, we haven't
treble
won
yet.
it either, na.
Yeah, they
and
haven't.
here
We have to
Yeah,
go for the food
I'll also have
trophies.
to discuss I'll also have to discuss their achievements in the Champions League to put things into perspective. This Real Madrid team that okay, people might say that on paper they might be the weakest team, but let's not forget they have won the Champions League. Uh, I think 5 or 6 times in the last 10 years. That's an unreal achievement. Okay,
Oh,
they
yes.
and so that kind of to beat that kind of opposition and to be in the finals, and eventually if they go on to win this, I think this kind of season will will not be matched. If you ask me, this it will be very hard to match, especially if you're playing in the Premier League.
Listen,
It will be
listen.
very difficult.
You right now, Bongskala, what you're saying is a team that hasn't even done the treble yet, and you're comparing it to a team that did the three-peat and won the double with the Champions League. and that team had probably the greatest player of all time, Cristiano Ronaldo, and maybe one of the greatest, probably if you could consider when we eventually we're going to have in the middle of summer months the greatest Premier League 11 of all time show, probably 3 or 4 of those players are going to make the cut in that team. That Manchester United team was legendary. That entire 11, if you compare,
if that team was legendary, this one is as well. Because if you see, for sure it is. For sure it is.
Tell me, Jack.
Okay, see the number of goals they've scored. Okay, see the number of goals they have scored.
Sure, let's compare.
No, we cannot do it man to man. Overall, as a team,
I think
as a
not
team,
individually. I think as a team,
much better.
I think, yeah.
As a team, they were way better. What are you talking about? They were
no, absolutely not. Absolutely
the
not.
competition was harder at that time. For sure,
I cannot say that. I'm sure. Okay, this season might be an exception. Okay, we did not have that kind of a competition this season, maybe. But if you see the past few seasons in the Premier League,
only Liverpool competing. Only Liverpool.
Yeah, but that kind of a competition, you would never. I mean, before Manchester City won the Premier League, okay, how many seasons have you seen where the Premier League season boiled down to the last game?
3 or
how
4
many?
3 seasons or
3 or 4? Can you tell me which one?
Well, 2 of them were with Liverpool, obviously.
The Aguero moment with Manchester United.
Only Manchester City and Liverpool. These are the only 2 teams who have fought until the last day of the Premier League.
Liverpool, Arsenal, last day, 1992.
We fought against City back in the day with the Aguero goal, right?
That one I was talking about.
Yeah, that was 2011-12. Yeah.
That
happened a lot of times, man. If I open the history books and show you how many times
seriously,
I've gone through it.
I seriously think Bongskal is suffering with recency bias here. And
I think he's a City fan. He's always been a City fan.
No,
pretending to be a Liverpool fan. And but it's good to see your true colors, mate.
No,
I knew it.
Absolutely not. I'm just an admirer of the game, and I think City. There is no doubt that City are head and shoulders above any team in the league. Even
Obviously,
Liverpool have matched them in the previous seasons. Okay, but I think it's too much of an ask to really, to challenge this team, because they are simply a machine.
No, I understand. I totally get it, Bongskal. But I'm going to ask Pravasi. Pravasi, when did you probably started watching football back in 2005, 6, 7? Did you watch the 2007, 8?
No. It was 2010. It was in 2010 that I was.
Which team did you support in 2010? I'm very curious to know.
It was Manchester City.
He started in 2010 with
in 2010.
The others that you guys have watched,
just entered the college, and then I started watching this Premier League football.
But I want to ask you guys,
was it the Aguero season?
No,
No, it was before the Aguero. Aguero was 2012. Aguero was 2012.
2012. I started watching in 2010
Right.
from that
11
season.
years. But guys, I want to ask
when
you.
Richard Dunn was the captain, right? 2010.
Yes.
Richard Dunn was the captain.
Yeah.
Of City.
Can you guys please tell me? Just answer me. Ruben Diaz is the best center back at Manchester City this season. Can you compare him to right now as it stands?
Ruben Diaz is the best centre back? I don't think so.
No.
Who is
Not at all. I think it's Nathan Ake for me.
Nathan Ake is a left back or center back.
No. You can say
whatever Jishnu's point is. Anyway, getting back to Jishnu's point.
Point out that you see we are Ruben Diaz is playing, I think, from February onwards, right? Before that, he was suffering from an injury. And
whoever it is, maybe it's Akanji, maybe it's Johnstone, maybe it's Ruben Diaz, maybe it's Ake.
Yeah.
My question is there a center back that is better in this team than Nemanja Vidic of 2007-8? Tell me, just tell me, anybody.
See, if you go man to man, this is an unfair comparison. Firstly,
no.
Okay,
You see, the players are of different generations, right? We can't compare generations with individual performances or individual players.
This I agree with Pravasi. Like, we cannot not compare.
That generation was different. The play style was different from that.
Let me remind you, Fernando Torres made a mockery of this guy called Nemanja Vidic every single game that he played.
Oh my God, he used to
made a mockery of that guy. He simply used to outrun him every game. So
That's okay.
while I do admit that while he's a great player,
I
but
think I
certainly
think
not.
Saul needs to take over.
If
I
you
think
see
Saul
his,
needs to
if
take
you
over.
see his record against Liverpool, Nemanja Vidic was shit against Liverpool.
He
Every
was
I'll tell
single
you.
game.
I'll tell you his record
Wasn't
against
shit.
Liverpool.
He wasn't shit. There
Five
was few
Premier League
instances.
I,
titles
I remember
versus
I
zero.
remember every single game that Fernando Torres played against him, and he was bullshit. He was no
but
match to him.
but Ruben but
Nemanja Vidic was a
Ruben
great
Diaz
defender.
but Ruben
Yeah.
Diaz
Yeah,
is
he
not.
was. He was. I do get it. But if you're saying
But
that, okay, if you're
yeah,
trying to
no,
compare,
he's better than Ruben Diaz. Nemanja Vidic was better than Ruben Diaz.
see, obviously over the career, I would say yes. But come on, Ruben Diaz has played only 2 seasons.
But then we have to
So
see
Listen,
what
listen,
Ruben
listen,
Diaz has done to this
listen,
yeah,
team now.
guys,
Ever
guys,
since
guys,
he has
guys,
joined from
guys.
yeah.
One second.
Okay.
I think a brilliant segment, if we could just fit in within the next 5 or 6 minutes, would be to make a combined 11 of the United team and this team. Let's just do it. Can we do it? If everybody's up for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Who would you have for your striker?
I don't think. Firstly, if you're comparing the United team, if you're comparing the United team of the 2008, you also have to take the Liverpool team of that won 99 points 2 seasons ago.
No, but right
That
now
was a better team. That was a better team than
Oh,
Okay, he's a
2018.
Liverpool fan now. I know.
listen.
That's a better team.
Okay,
Yes, that is.
That's why.
right now we're making a quick combined.
We're talking
11.
about
Yeah,
people who have won trebles or can win
No,
trebles. We are talking
three-peat,
about
three-peat.
three-peat.
Wait.
Yeah, Liverpool
Did the
is not
United
in the
team of 2008 won
conversation.
the treble? No, they
Liverpool
didn't.
won the
He's
domestic
talking about a
double
three-peat.
or
Absolutely
the
not.
minor double.
Okay, we are talking about the three-peat. We're talking about three-peat.
Domestic treble, right?
Bonskauser.
Because we won the
Double,
Carabao
double.
as well,
Okay,
right?
you know what,
Why
Bonskauser?
double?
Double. You guys won the double, man.
Bonskauser, timeout for you.
You-
I'm going to start with Saul. Who would be your number 9 between Erling Haaland and Wayne Rooney? If you had to make a combined 11 between those two teams.
Ooh, was Wayne Rooney
Wayne
playing
Rooney,
number 9 or was it
he was not.
Tevez? Was it
It
Tevez?
was
No,
it
no,
was
no.
Tevez and Berbatov. I think they bought Berbatov. So
Yeah, I would pick
Berbatov was-
Haaland over them, I think.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, Haaland.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Holland.
Haaland.
Has to be
Okay.
Holland.
I think it's unanimous Haaland for sure. Left wing Cristiano Ronaldo in 2007-8.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ronaldo.
I'll let everybody else answer, especially Bonskauser. What do you think? Come on, say it.
Yeah, Ronaldo, of course.
There we
of
go.
course.
Okay.
Moving
And
on.
who was playing right wing for United? Was it Nani or was it Rooney?
It,
think it
it was Tevez, Rooney, and these guys. These to swap.
So then
and
let's
position.
say Wayne Rooney against Riyad Mahrez or Bernardo Silva.
Rooney, definitely.
Bernardo. Okay, no, okay, fine.
I
Okay,
would say
I'm going for Bernardo Silva.
Bernardo
Wayne
Silva,
Rooney,
of course, Bernardo.
Oh my God. Okay, then Bernardo.
Pravasi did not start watching the Premier League at 2008, bro. Man.
7-8. That's
No. I think
He's obviously
think
gonna
Rooney,
say Bernardo
I'll also have to put Rooney in the 11 for sure. But I think I'll also put Silva in as well.
right.
The both of them.
Number 10.
All right, Silva / Rooney. Okay, RW.
It was between who was playing number 10? Was it Paul Scholes playing number 10 or was he playing number 8?
No, number 10 was Wayne Rooney. Rooney was
or
playing 10.
Tevez. Again, like they would shuffle
Yeah.
around.
They were shuffling around.
Yeah.
Also had Owen Hargreaves. He was the only season that.
Yeah, but I think he was coming off the bench
So,
mostly.
Between Rooney and Kevin De Bruyne. It's
Oh man, it's KDB.
tough one.
Just leave it.
That is hard to say, but I'll still go with Rooney.
It's KDB.
I'd go with Rooney. I would go with Rooney because I think Kevin De Bruyne has not really been that impactful this season.
He
There
has
have been
not really
players who
good
have
this
been
season.
bigger impact.
He
This
has.
is, I think this is a
he's in-
difficult one. It's just
He
that
tops the assist chart in Premier League. He tops the assist chart in Champions League, and
Maybe, but I
he's
think
not in its best
there were
form.
other players who were more influential, like Gundogan, like Bernardo Silva, like Nathan Ake. These guys were much more influential than.
What sort of influence is more than assisting a goal?
So it's 2-2, right?
assisting-
It's 2-2. Haaland,
It's 2-2. It's- Bernardo,
Yeah.
Rooney, and
Let's catch
Ronaldo.
on.
Next are the number 2, the two central midfielders, central defensive midfielder, Rodri Gundogan versus Michael Carrick, Paul Scholes. Well, let's say Paul Scholes versus Gundogan. I'm taking Paul Scholes. Like I don't even have to
Scholes.
make up.
Gundogan.
No
Gundogan.
way in
What?
hell.
Gundogan.
Way
For
in
the impact he's made. Absolutely.
and what impact has
Scholes,
Paul
Scholes.
Scholes made over 20 years, man?
Scholes,
No,
yeah,
you're
definitely.
talking about
Scholes.
one
That's
season,
like,
right? If you're talking about one season, we should talk about this one season.
Dude,
If
in
not,
that
Erling
season,
Haaland would not be in the team.
listen,
If not,
listen. In that season, Paul Scholes scored against Barcelona and took us to the
Yeah.
final. Okay,
Yep.
at,
Yep.
at,
Yep.
at Old
that's
Trafford, and that goal was the
That
only
long.
goal because we
Gundogan scored
drew
against
in.
Real
That
Madrid
long.
and has taken Manchester City to the final.
That was the
No,
2008
Saul,
Barcelona team.
Saul, that
Just
was the
remember
Yeah.
that.
quarterfinal. That was the quarterfinal. Semi-final was against Arsenal. That season.
Okay,
I mean,
fine, whatever.
no disrespect to Paul Scholes. I
Let's
think
talk
he was
about beating
he was
Arsenal
an
twice
amazing
in
player.
Emirates and Old Trafford. Ronaldo scoring
Scholes.
from like what 50 yards or something.
Scholes. It's definitely Scholes. I don't think
Yeah,
this anyone has to
yeah.
do,
It's
like anyone
goals
can disagree.
between Rodri and Michael Carrick.
It's
Rodri.
Rodri.
Rodri,
What?
I'm
Rodri,
very good.
Rodri.
Michael Carrick, 100%.
Rodri, I would say Rodri.
Rodri.
No,
Rodri.
no.
So
More
underrated.
better.
We're talking
Better.
about one season. Let's not compare their careers. It's just one
No,
season.
it's
Yeah.
one
He
season.
was
It's one
really
season.
good. He was really good in that season, just so you know.
Yeah, he was really good, but
But I
I
would still
think
pick
Rodri.
Rodri. Yes, so it's 3-3.
3-3.
Let's move on to the left back
What is 3-3?
position. Well, 3 players from each team till now.
Okay.
Moving on to left back, I don't think we have to have
Patrice Evra. Patrice Evra.
it's no
Yeah,
discussion.
it's Evra.
Yeah,
Evra.
it's
It's
Evra.
Evra.
Should we talk about the centre back pairing? Do we
Rio
need to?
Ferdinand, Nemanja Vidic. Let's go.
It's
Next.
I
Come
would
on.
put
This
Kyle
is
Walker as
nostalgia
right back
bias.
over.
It's
Right, I
nostalgia
would
bias.
put Kyle Walker over Gary Neville for
Honestly,
sure.
Oh my God.
For a
Yeah,
single
yeah, yeah.
season,
Right back, it must be
no,
Kyle Walker.
no. Okay, Kyle Walker. I
you
get
have to pick John Stones. You'll have to pick
Yeah,
John
and,
Stones.
John Stones over
and
who?
one
There's
of the
no
CD
way.
players must be
There's
John
no
Stones.
way you cannot pick John Stones. There's no way. That
John
guy has
Stones.
been
John
Just
Stones
just
this
look at the
season.
I'll pick Johnny
positions.
Evans
Just
over
look at
John
season.
Stones.
just
Yes.
look at the
If
positions
you
he
watch
played
the
in this
game,
season. You
Yeah,
you
it's hard
start
to
him in
compare.
centre back, he excels. You start him at right back, he excels. You start him at CDM, he excels. You give him the positions in centre midfield, he excels. You give him the positions as a centre forward, second centre forward, he excels. Means what do you want more from a player,
he
player
has
like
played
that?
seven. He has played
Seven
7
different
positions this season. Do you know that? I
Okay,
was
and
watching him
each
play
each
the
positions
okay.
United.
One
he
second.
excelled at.
I'll
So
make it more. I'll make it simpler. Nemanja Vidic or Ruben Diaz. Let's start with that.
Nemanja
I think
it
Vidic.
must
Nemanja
be
Vidic. I
Vidic.
would say
So
Nemanja Vidic.
Vidic.
Yeah.
So it's 4-3. Moving on to
5-3. 5-3. 5-3. Evra.
oh, right, yeah, 5-3. Now moving on to
5-3.
Rio Ferdinand and John Stones.
It's
John
John
Stones
Stones.
this season.
You're
This season,
picking
John Stones
John
was
Stones over
unreal.
Ferdinand in that season. Are you
No, that's
crazy? Are you
I'm not
mental?
comparing
Rio
their careers.
Ferdinand. Rio Ferdinand.
I'm not
Rio
comparing their
Ferdinand.
careers. It's just one
No, I've
season.
watched.
Even that
I've
season,
watched
one
him.
season.
I've watched Rio Ferdinand that season. He was.
Bro,
even that
I thought he
season,
was.
recency
I thought he,
bias.
I
recency.
thought he
No,
was
man.
very
But
close
I
to
think
Vidic
John. I
also.
think you guys again. I'm saying it. I'm saying it. You guys are comparing their careers probably.
No, no, no,
But
no, we're
No,
not.
we are
We are
not.
not. We
Nobody
watched that
is.
season. We have watched that season.
That season, the amount of clean sheets Van der Sar had, it was not only because of him. It was also.
I
because of
understand.
the
I
centre-back
totally
pairing.
understand it. I totally understand that. But even then, I think John Stones he's played in a lot of positions this season. He has been unreal. He's just been
Yeah,
too
he
good.
has, but
You've been
he's not like when you're picking up a
majority is
seed.
voted. Yeah, majority has voted Rio Ferdinand.
Okay,
Right,
fine.
And
right
also,
back.
like, I just wanted
Walker.
to say
Walker.
that
Me
I
too.
don't rate Gary Neville somehow.
Gary Neville, he's a
No.
legend.
No, Gary Neville.
I
Gary
don't
Neville.
rate him.
Walker
I
has
don't
not even
rate
He
played
played
him.
half
really
the games.
well at that season as well.
Oh yeah,
Gary
Walker
Neville.
didn't
Gary
play.
Neville.
Yeah, actually true. Walker didn't play a lot of games this season. That is true.
Exactly.
Gary Neville. Yep.
Just basing everything off the
Gary
Real
Neville. Gary
Madrid
Neville.
thing. Come on.
So what's the score
Gary
now?
Neville, of course.
Okay, just give it to Walker. Just make it like United have won anyway.
No,
So.
not Walker. I cannot give it to Walker. He's not played. I think he's not played 70% of the games, right? Pravasi?
Who was playing
He
right
has
back for
played,
you?
I think he has played 35
Cancelo.
or 40% of the game.
Oh,
No,
Cancelo
Cancelo
was
played
there.
left back.
And
No. Aki was playing left back. Cancelo was playing right back.
They have played
Early on in the season.
Akanji, Rick
No.
They have played
They
Akanji
played
right back.
Akanji.
No. Ake didn't play when Cancelo started. No.
Yeah, and goalkeeper, I think it goes to Edwin
Van der Sar.
for sure.
Yeah, Van der Sar.
So you see, like 8 out of the players, and it's a unit that it's from that team. So you cannot really, the argument.
You are playing football on paper.
You all have
I agree with the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with the point that when the City players do come together, they as a system they also like
Okay,
it enhances them.
we didn't choose one. The
The
biggest
manager.
exactly.
Oh,
Who's the
that is
best?
hard. That is
Pep
hard. That is hard.
Guardiola.
I would choose I would choose
Pep
Guardiola.
Guardiola.
I would choose Pep Guardiola.
Yeah,
Yes.
I
it's
think
Pep. It's Pep. It's
Idiotic.
Pep.
I would choose
that is
Guardiola
hard.
over Dadu for sure.
Of course you will. Your Dadu sucked. And speaking of Liverpool, well,
Your Dadu came and said that he could never have done the invincible. So don't come and speak. No, no, no.
Dadu had
By
to
the
say
way,
because
I
our
think the
Dadus were
Liverpool team.
friends. He had to say that.
But by the way, I believe that the Liverpool team that won 99 points was better than the 2008 Manchester United team.
Are you like
No,
Of
no, no, no,
course,
no,
of course.
no,
Yes,
Even
no.
the
of
Leicester
course.
team was better than United, maybe.
The
Who
32
knows?
games we won in a row that season.
During
32
COVID,
games
where people were
in a
sick
Uh,
and
row.
not paying
that time
attention.
COVID, that time COVID didn't happen. 32 games when we won, and we lost to
hey,
Watford
listen,
our first game.
I didn't get
COVID didn't strike. Yeah, like
Pravas's.
COVID.
We need to move on from
No,
this.
when was the match?
I
Matches
think
were
I think
happening
we
then,
won
right?
the league.
In the month
I
of
think
March,
we
I
won the
think,
league
right?
with 7 games to spare. That
Yeah.
has that has
Yeah,
not
Yeah.
been
there
done in
was
the Premier League.
COVID, bro. And there
I
was
don't care if
COVID
it's
never
COVID. No
happened
one.
before as well.
It's very difficult to compare every time. Like,
You
but yeah,
cannot.
Manchester
You can't.
United.
We cannot compare this. We won the league with 7 games to spare, and you're saying
There
that's
were
not
no
an achievement.
fans on the stadium, bro. People were sick. People were dying. It was a sad time for the earth.
But I feel Liverpool have been really unlucky. Like that season when they won the Champions League, they just one game away from one John Stones clearance away and one off like wrongly ruled out offside away from winning the double and being invincible at the same time.
Oh yeah,
That season we were unreal, man. We were really good. I think
Yeah.
that season, and I
And
can
that's
say
the
for
season.
sure they were better than the 2008 team.
listen.
Of course, the more entertaining team was the 2008 Manchester United team, but the Liverpool completely dominated that season. I think winning the league with 7 games to spare. I mean, that's never going to
You
be
know
done
how
again.
many
Tremendous
times we have
achievement.
done
Yeah.
that in the history of Manchester United? Do you know
Not in
No,
the
that?
Premier
I
League
think
era.
Liverpool, I
At
think
least not
Liverpool
in the
have
Premier League era.
won the league the earliest. That's the record. Like Liverpool have won the league with most games to spare.
Yeah.
Listen, I need to take this question and end this segment here with the man of the moment, Pravasi.
It's
Please,
already 32
Yes.
minutes in and the City fan
please,
hasn't spoken. Oh, let's go to the next topic, man. I can't take this
Man, go
anymore.
to next topic, man.
no,
Go.
no, no,
No,
no,
no, no,
please,
no, 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 no. We need your take. We need your take.
absolutely, please.
Okay.
How do you
Um,
feel about the season? Please talk to us.
okay. First of all, it's surreal, given the positions that we were in the month of January. If back then you were telling me that we would win a Premier League at the end of the May, and we will qualify for Champions League and FA Cup final, I would be joking around you. Means that was a complete joke. The situations that we're in were terrible. We had a certain background information that were coming out that the dressing room environment, the performance of the that was affecting the performance of the players in the field, as well as there were off dramas that were occurring. Maybe some part of it where the I don't know, maybe some part of it where the early executions means early exit from the World Cup that was hampering the mentality of the players. I don't know what it was, but in January we were in shambles,
You're right.
and I
You're
think
right. Just a small interjection here. Since the FFP,
yeah,
breach,
I'm coming to that. I'm coming to
yeah,
that. Yeah.
you
You
guys have
see,
not
on
lost the
I think
game.
on the 11th or 12th of January, we had these Carabao
Allegations.
semi-final Southampton match. We were terrible. Means now the reports are coming out that after the Southampton match, Pep had a real blast in the dressing room, abominate the every player's account, so that then the situation started to get cleared up. We understood that which players has the problems, and we took serious measures against them, and that helped us. Coming back to February, on 6th of February, the great allegations that we were put into that helped us to means what galvanize as a team, and then we sort of had this
Unbeaten.
run
Since then,
that
unbeaten.
was
I
unparalleled,
think
right?
23 or 24 or 20. Like it was
Right,
definitely
23 wins in a row right now.
no, not no,
Yeah,
not wins. No, no, no. 23 wins, 23
yeah,
games unbeaten.
unbeaten, 23
Un-
matches unbeaten in a
Undefeated.
row, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. So, do you think a four-peat is coming? Is it? Do you, what
Ah,
very
that's very hard. That's very hard. Uh, you know the winning a three-peat was also very hard. Thanks to Liverpool for breaking our for reaching that one season. Otherwise, we would have been 6 wins in a row, 6 season wins in a row. But these things are tough, man. And summer transfer window, as we are seeing or we are hearing some reports that many players will leave the club. They're going elsewhere. So if these
Who
happen,
do you expect to
then
leave?
new players.
Who do you
I,
expect
I
to leave?
don't see. Recent reports suggest that Gundogan is staying. So that's a good news. I don't know about the future of Bernardo Silva. I think he will ultimately stay, but right now I think it's a 60-40 situation of him leaving. The next is Laporte. I think Cancel is surely leaving. There is a 70-30 or 75-25 chance of Laporte leaving. So all the senior players that were the core of this City system, they have the potential to leave in the summer transfer window. Now, when that happens, we have to bring in new players. So bringing new players, teaching them this system without someone senior at the helm who played at the system, means barring the Kevin De Bruyne. Other than him, I don't think there is any senior
Ruben
left.
Diaz. Ruben Diaz
Yeah,
Rodri.
Ruben Diaz has come in for 3 years and he's 26,
I
I think
actually had
25 or
a
26.
I had a question. Will João Cancelo get the Premier League medal? I mean, we saw
He will,
Aubameyang
yeah.
won the La
Yes,
Liga
yes, he
medal
will.
being
He
Yeah,
will. He
injured.
will. He will.
100%.
I think he should.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
will.
started.
They
He,
I
he
declared.
think if you
started
start
till
five,
January
more
mid.
than
Na?
five
He
games, you
started
will get
till
the
January
penalty.
mid. It was
Yeah.
after 31st January that he moved on to Bayern,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So I think he will be getting a medal.
He will.
That
He
for
will. He
sure.
will.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Also, I would like to make a point here. I think we don't talk about City's recruitment over the years. I think we often talk about Liverpool's recruitment over the years. They have been spot on, but I think people don't quite appreciate how well the people, who are handling the recruitment at City have done. Okay, I mean they have been fabulous. All of their signings have been on point. There, I don't think there's been a single player in the Pep era apart from Claudio Bravo. Okay, I don't think there's been a single
There's,
player who's flopped.
I'll tell you.
Mendy,
Yeah,
Mendy.
Benjamin.
Okay, Mendy was kind of injured,
Benjamin
but
Mendy
the
never
games that he has
never was
played
a
in, he
flop.
was good.
You see, he had a
Yeah,
serious injury seasons, and then the accusation that he um, that he that he was
No,
It
charged
there was
isn't
with.
an accusation. I think it is was true.
there was another guy,
I think it was an accusation because it's not been proven
Danilo.
in
Okay,
courts
anyway.
right now. Okay,
Yeah,
no,
so
no,
Danilo.
so
Danilo was
that's
Danilo.
an
Danilo
accusation
wasn't
till
a
now.
flop.
It's not charged.
Danilo wasn't a flop. Danilo was used as a bait to get Cancelo because he was a
Cancelo
better
from
player.
Juventus.
Was
Yeah.
Ilakwe Mangala a signing of Pep?
Yeah, yeah. No, no,
No,
no,
no,
No,
no,
no,
no.
no, no,
that
no.
was not in the Pep era. Pep
Okay.
would never have signed Mangala. He was shit at passing.